This is the Thompson Cast. I am Mel Thompson. As we've seen the past few days, India is looking to try to correct some of the major obstacles in its way as a large democracy, actually the largest democracy in the world, with the potential to be one of the richest democracies of all time. The problems stem from corruption and other laws that block market entry to foreign direct investment or companies wanting to do business there. This in association with prices that were artificially low on energy products have really damaged the potential that India clearly had many years ago and has now and will eventually capitalize on, in my opinion, in the future. Some of the moves being made by the current government to rectify some of these problems is to raise the price of diesel fuel and also to allow foreign retail chains to open outlets in India. What this has caused, and I have no problem with this because I think this is just another sign of a true democracy, are protests. Civil unrest is a sign of people being actively involved in the democracy in which they live. It can also be the sign of a failing state or major structural defects within the political system in a country. In India, these are protests directed strictly at these particular issues. Of course, at some point there will be arrests. There will always be the potential for violence that will spiral out of control. And these particular incidents are where there is a heightened risk of political risk. Although overall, any civil unrest, any protest, no matter how peaceful and well-intentioned, raises political risk. As soon as a municipality or a government at any level must deploy the police to keep order, there's always going to be the potential for political risk. And in India's case, the potential is fairly high given that the issues are so personal to the Indian people. It is viewed as an attack upon the Indian people by its own government, according to many current opposition leaders who feel that the rise in diesel prices is just an indication that the current government doesn't care and is doing everything it can to pad its own nest by making money and business deals that will benefit those leaders after they leave office. However, artificially low prices never help anybody. And as far as those who are corrupt benefiting from a rise in the cost of diesel fuel, I hate to tell all of you this, but you're always going to have people who cut deals in back rooms and alleys, and there's very little you can do about it. They will always find some way to go around anti-corruption measures because a lot of the people who have written the anti-corruption measures are somehow connected to the money sources that put them in office in the first place. It happens, you have to acknowledge it. But you also must understand that there are more good people, good, honest people, than bad people who will engage in such activity. You have to accept those two principles to be able to just deal with reading a newspaper these days. There's nothing you can do about it. You can only, in my opinion, regulate corruption. You're never going to be able to totally eliminate it. And in the case of India, the fact that the cost of the diesel fuel is being raised, knowing what was going to come down the pike as far as the protest, and knowing how it was going to impact the government's political standing, shows me that there was not any real thought about how to get one over and how to benefit from this. This is a move that the government of India feels is necessary. Now, if you move on to the other major issue that is causing the protest, which is the opening of the retail markets, this is an excellent opportunity for foreign direct investment. The retail markets have been closed for so long that people really didn't even think twice about not having the option of investing in them or having them as a method of foreign direct investment. Now, all of a sudden, if this door opens, and when this door opens wide enough where people start to realize it, you have an opportunity that must be capitalized on. Where the political risk is, after the next round of elections, will this law be rolled back? Will opposition parties run on a platform of rolling this back? That is where you have to hedge your bets. Do you actually want to get involved in a country as a foreign direct investor or a business where the two major issues, the cost of diesel and the opening of the markets, are going to possibly be political footballs and be completely rolled back from where they were when you decided to invest? This is going to require a substantial amount of credit insurance, and it raises the prospect of substantial political risk. I, for one, still believe that in time, India will transform itself and embrace these changes. I don't think that it is a long-term political risk. I think it's a short-term political risk, but one that is very, very high. As I said, the current government is pushing these things, which are changes in the control of fuel prices, which is basically essentially opening up the market there, and also allowing foreign retail chains to enter Indian markets. If these things are ever rolled back in the future, then goodbye direct foreign investment. I also believe that people who run campaigns, once they become leaders, look at things much, much differently. And I also believe that even if the opposition parties became the leaders of India a year or two from now, they are not going to roll back these opportunities, because the opportunities for them personally are going to be substantially higher, and the opportunities for their people are going to be much greater. This has been a Thompson Cast. I am L. Thompson.